Shut up and sit down.
What's the story, internet? I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Hope you are all prepared for another weekend of football. So let's just jump right into it. So in the Premier League, starting off on Saturday, we have Everton versus Newcastle. Everton have been enjoying football a little bit more recently again, going up to 7th. As I mentioned in my last video, if they won their 2 games in hand, they would be as far up as 3rd. Newcastle have just been woeful recently, so I don't think we'll be expecting anything except for an Everton win, really. I think, I'd be very surprised if Newcastle won this. Not to say it can't happen. Look at what happened with Sheffield United against Manchester United last week. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Everton just blow Newcastle out of the water. So on to the next one, Crystal Palace versus Wolves. 2 sides that have been struggling recently. Crystal Palace lost to West Ham. Wolves drew 0-0 with Chelsea, but they did not put up a good performance. They were there, but no one really noticed. So I think it should be interesting. Both sides need some positivity at the moment. Both sides need to push on and score some goals. So I can see it being a high-scoring game, maybe a 3-2, a 3-1, a 4-1 or something like that. If I had to pick a team, I would probably say Wolves over Crystal Palace, but you never know. Next match, Manchester City versus Sheffield United. Sheffield United have got a strong couple of matches. The Spurs recently, then Manchester United, now City. Got to say that Manchester City are the favourites, but after what they did to United and after the performance they played against Spurs, not the result, but the performance, who knows? But I think Manchester City are probably going to win this one, especially after their demolition of West Brom last week. Which, speaking of West Brom, we have a relegation tie, West Brom versus Fulham. I don't think it's really an exciting match, but it's an opportunity for both sides to get points. And if there's any manager that can get points in these sorts of matches, it's Sam Allardyce. So no disrespect to Fulham, I think that they'll perform. I could see them winning, but I'm going to call it for West Brom. I think Sam Allardyce has just got the nous to just nick a win, maybe a 1 or 2-0, something like that. And God knows that both sides need it desperately. Fulham would be in a better place if they got it, because they've got the match in hand. So if they got these 3 points and then got another with their game in hand, that would put them above Brighton. So we'll have to see. Next one on Saturday, big match, Arsenal versus Manchester United. Manchester United desperately need to bounce back from the loss to Sheffield United. Desperately need to bounce back from that. And Arsenal are doing quite well at the moment, and they're not the team that you want to be playing when you need a performance, especially in the inspired form that they find themselves in. So going to be a very, very difficult match. But as we saw against Liverpool, Manchester United have the potential. If we put out our strongest side and we take it to Arsenal, I can see Manchester United winning this. I think it's going to be close either way it goes. I think it's going to be a 2-1. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be a 2-1, maybe a 3-2 at a push. But I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be end-to-end. I think both sides are going to be going for it. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm hoping that Manchester United can get the job done on another trip to London. We'll have to see. Next match, Southampton versus Aston Villa. 2 sides that have been in inspired form and then recently have fallen off. Both will be looking to get back on the up. If I had to pick a side between the two based on their recent form, even though both of them lost recently, I would have to say Southampton. I think they've still been keeping a majority of their momentum. Aston Villa have been a little bit up and down. Just depends on the week where you find them. But Southampton have stayed relatively constant. They've had a couple of knocks, but they've stayed relatively constant. So I think Southampton are the team to watch for this one. Moving on to Sunday, we've got Chelsea versus Burnley. Tough test for Thomas Tuchel. Tough side to break down. But after his performance in the last match, I've forgotten who they played already, Wolves, where they just absolutely dominated them. It'll take a lot of soaking up for Burnley to take on the pressure. But if any side can soak up pressure, it is Sean Dyche's Burnley. They are the defensive masterclasses. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think Chelsea are probably going to win. However, Burnley's recent form, beating Liverpool at Anfield, beating Aston Villa, winning in the cup, they are on the move. So I could see a shock result coming here, and I could also see a bit of criticism being thrown at Thomas Tuchel if they do. Unfairly, because it's only his second match in charge, but we've seen what Chelsea fans are like. So, on to the next one, Leicester City versus Leeds. Should be an entertaining match. Both sides very attacking, very free-flowing opponents. I think Leicester are going to win this, not just because they're in third, but it definitely helps. I think they'll want to continue pushing up the table, especially if Manchester City has a positive result. If Manchester United can get a positive result, Leicester will want to stay there or thereabouts. So I think Leicester's going to push for this, and I can see them getting the win in this one. West Ham versus Liverpool. So this is an interesting one because Liverpool did just batter Spurs 3-1. Literally just, it was this morning. But at the same time, West Ham have been killing it recently, and they're in the Champions League spot. I can see West Ham doing a bit of a smash and grab here, especially if Liverpool aren't careful. The trouble with Spurs was that they did the usual Mourinho park the bus, soak up pressure, and didn't do it well. West Ham are a gritty team. They break up play very, very easily, and they catch you when you least expect it. I mean, Thomas Souček is... No one expects a defensive midfielder to be scoring, and I think he's got 9 goals now. It's crazy. As I mentioned in my previous video, the new Fellaini, just the player that you don't expect, but he breaks up the play. He's always in the right position. He knows what to do, and that means that Manchester United is going to sign him in the summer. But yeah, I can see West Ham doing a bit of a smash and grab here. I would not be surprised at all. So should be an entertaining match in my opinion. But I can also see it finishing 0-0. I can see both sides going for it, cancelling each other out, and getting a bore draw. We'll have to wait and see. Next match, Brighton versus Tottenham. I've got to say that Tottenham's going to win this one. Brighton have not been doing well recently. If we look at their previous matches, draw to Fulham 0-0. They won in the cup. They did beat Leeds, to be fair. Lost to City, won in the cup, drew with Wolves, lost to Arsenal, drew with West Ham, drew with Sheffield United, drew with Fulham, lost to Leicester. So a lot of draws in there. So not to say that they're woeful, but Tottenham should be winning this match. But then again, Tottenham should also have put in a performance against Liverpool, and they didn't. So will it be the Mourinho masterclass where he comes out and they absolutely dominate a team? Or will it be the other Mourinho masterclass where for some reason they park the bus, even though the team is in 17th, and just absolutely fumble it? We'll have to wait and see. So those are the Premier League matches. So let's go through the channels that these matches are going to be on, and then let's move into the Bundesliga, because there's not really any big matches in Serie A or Liga or La Liga, but as always, there's some important matches in Bundesliga. So starting with Saturday, Everton versus Newcastle is on NBCSN and Universal. Crystal Palace versus Wolves is on Peacock. City versus Sheffield United is on NBC and Universal. West Brom versus Fulham is on Peacock. Arsenal versus Manchester United is on NBC proper, unsurprisingly, and Telemundo. Southampton versus Aston Villa is on Peacock. Chelsea versus Burnley is on Peacock. Actually, all the matches on Sunday are on Peacock. Leicester versus Leeds, West Ham versus Liverpool, Brighton versus Spurs, all on Peacock. So moving into the Bundesliga. So, Union Berlin versus Mönchengladbach. Now, Union Berlin are in 8th, but they're only 3 points behind Mönchengladbach, who are in 5th. They're only 4 points behind Wolfsburg and Leverkusen in 3rd and 4th, respectively. So, big match. If Union Berlin get the points, they'll leapfrog Mönchengladbach, go into 5th. If Mönchengladbach get the points, they'll leapfrog Wolfsburg and Leverkusen, go into 3rd. It's crazy. It's a big match. The other big one is Leipzig versus Leverkusen, 2nd against 3rd. So If Leverkusen win, they'll go level on points and leapfrog Leipzig because of goal difference. If Leipzig win, they will go 6 points clear of Leverkusen, and they'll be within touching distance of Bayern, unless Bayern blow, who are they playing? Blow Hoffenheim out of the water and continue their 6 point cushion. But some important matches coming up. Dortmund desperately need a win. Eintracht Frankfurt desperately need a win. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, keep an eye on those matches because they could cause a real shake-up in the Bundesliga. So definitely some entertaining football coming up this weekend. My matches to watch: Manchester United versus Arsenal and Leipzig versus Leverkusen. I think those would be thoroughly entertaining. So yeah, I will be back with you Sunday for a review of these matches that I just went through, and then on Monday for a preview of the midweek matches. So until then, I hope you're all staying safe, keeping out of trouble. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And until then, ta-ra for now.